Biscuit Week! Ha! Or more like Biscuit Weak at the knees. Oh my god. Are my knees bloody shortbread because they're crumbling? What a steamy episode, full of innuendo and a lot of flirtation going on across the board. What a steam train was this episode. But we can't even talk about that now. We're going to talk about it as we get into it, but a very exciting episode, right? You had Laura and Linda off the bat, right? This isn't sexy, but this is what was happening, right? They were just delighted to be kept alive. Linda, a lot of people were like, Linda, honey, go back to bloody Amsterdam. What are you smoking? Thinking you should be in this competition. And Laura just didn't really, she was lovely. She was really funny, but she just couldn't cut the mustard. You know, if you know what I mean. Did someone just cut some mustard in? Stop cutting mustard. They both need to impress this week. Cut the cheese is what I was thinking of. Sora says she still feels bad, and she says her ma was telling her not to cry. More like bloody crocodile tears. Crocodile Rock is what I was just singing there. Mac and Lottie appear on screen just for a second, and I was imagining how hot their kids would be, right? Mac and Lottie. You know when you see a mixed race couple and they're pushing a pram and you sprint over just to have a look at the baby, you're knocking other prams over. That is the sort of baby I reckon Mac and Lottie would have. A sort of like, get the fuck out of the way, pram. I need to see what this actual gorgeous, hey, Mr. Trump, this is what we're fucking fighting for, man. Look at how hot that, not hot, look at how beautiful the baby is. You know, it's lovely. It's the way it should be. I think they'd have a really attractive baby. Cute baby. Where did I lose the word cute? I'm sorry. We're not editing this. We cannot edit this. We have too much to talk about. Anyway, the signature challenge this week is they have to make 36 chocolate Florentines. What the fuck's a Florentine, right? Apparently a Florentine is nuts and dried fruit, caramel filling. Prue says they're very naughty. They're very naughty. They're very fattening, she says. Matt Lucas is delivering good patter. I just can't believe that the two hosts of this show, growing up, watching a bit of Little Britain, watching the Mighty Boosh, that the two hosts of this baking show are Noel Fielding and Matt Lucas. I think it's great. Prue is saying they need to be neat as a pin, small and thin. She's doing some kind of weird little metronome poetry, which I'm down for. Maybe Emma Kerwin should give that a go. She said there's a minute in getting it right or wrong. So Peter, you know, lovely Peter with the lovely lips, he is making sticky toffee Florentines. And he's wearing purple pants. I only want to see you baking in those purple pants. Terry was freaked at this point, not because of the purple pants, because she was like, I don't want to know about these people's family. They're telling us too much about the family. What we do like about the Bake Off is it's just about what you're able to deliver there in the competition. There is no sympathy. There is no cutthroat thing, you know. But because obviously they're being kept away from their family, you know, they're probably not going to be able to show us a bit about their family later on. You know, they can't just keep going back and seeing them with their family. So they probably got a lot of footage just because they don't know who the winner's going to be. So they're using the footage. That's my hot cross bun take on that. Sora, again, top drawer bants with Noel. The sort of comfort that you only come from, the sort of banter comfort that you only get from being a trained actor, right, which she is, a plant. I've told you about this. She's a fern. He's slagging her off for what happened last week. He's like, are you going to do it again? You know, he's in on it. They're hinting. They're right in front of us hinting at this. This is like QAnon levels of hinting, you know, going on here in the Bake Off tent. We see Linda in her hash farm, and we meet Richard. Hello, Linda's husband Richard, Mammy and Daddy, the two of them. They're like two fine aged oak barrels. They look fucking stunning. They seem like the sort of couple who just try the Kama Sutra for fun of a Tuesday, you know? And I started thinking what would be some kind of cakes that would sound like sexual positions, and there's a few. If you think of any more sexual positions that are cakes, or things that sound saucy sounding cakes or baked goods, put them in the comments, please. So I thought maybe Linda and Richard trying a bit of an apple turnover. So that would probably be like the arse is, because apples are arses. The arse is upside down somehow. Another one is they're trying a French fancy. So Linda, honey, and Richard trying a French fancy, and then it's sort of then lady fingers. So I don't. If you have better ones, Put them in the comments. Mark is making a mango lassi, Florentines, and he can't keep up with the pace of Noel. Noel revealed recently that to audition for Bake Off, he was just sent out into a garden centre to chat to people. And this season, like he's really up the weird. I think he's maybe feeling the pressure from Matt Lucas, which is great. They're elevating each other, right? But he's laying on a lot of jokes about like setting up a cart with Mark, narn Mark, and Mark's like ha ha ha. He's not in on it. He's not responding to it. You know, he's kind of like me in real life, like ha ha ha. Oh my god, ha 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 ha. You know, I don't feel comfortable enough to be able to crack a joke. You know, he's kind of like me. But Noel is really up in the weird. Then we have a mango off. That's a mango off. Hermione, Dan, and Mac are making mango-y things. Mac is making a mango and cumin Florentine. But hey, if it's that hottie Mac making it, maybe it's a mango and coming Florentine. Maybe you add an M and put a G on there. Because he's a hot-looking guy. It's also revealed that Mac is writing a novel. Could be shite. But people get a lot of credit just for finishing 90,000 words, you know? Like, you could literally just write a book about Donald Trump, call it... I'm writing this political satire called One Nation Under Don, right? And it's got a picture of a shit in a bin, right? On the cover. And it's 90,000 words. And you could just be like, Trump, you bellend. Trump, you really are a wanker. You wanker, Trump, you wanker. You're a wanker. Just like 90,000 times and be like, I finished a novel, you know, or I finished a political satire. You know, not that hard. Sure, even Jordan, you finished a book, didn't you? I'm only having a Josh. Book of Matches available on Amazon. Jordan, put a picture of your book up there. Dave is making a feathered chocolate and orange cake. He seems a lot more chill this week. Far less blinking. This week he's like the opposite of Helen from Big Brother Season 2, who famously said, I love blinking, I do. I love blinking, I do. Me, Tom Jones, me and Otis Redding were there, we love blinking. I remember... I've lost the accent. He's the opposite of Helen in that he doesn't like blinking. This week, I was getting a lot of messages off people being like, Dave's not blinking much, which is amazing that this is my life. Laura says Florentines are posh, and where she come from, Obnob's a push. She's not northern. I don't remember where she's from. Maybe she is. I like her anyway. I like Laura. She's top drawer bants. She's making salted caramel Florentines, and they look They look decent. Lottie, the lovely, radiant Lottie, is making quarantine Florentines. So she's making them as an ode to her grandparents. Now, I didn't quite see what was going on the screen here, but from what I could get, I couldn't quite hear the screen. The young fella was crying. But I'm pretty sure she was outside her grandparents' flat, just rinsing them for not being able to come outside. I didn't hear what she was saying, but I'm pretty sure her grandparents were up on the balcony, and she was just shouting at them, being like, ha, 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 you know, you can't leave, which is really, really bad. Horrible, screaming horrible things, probably flipping them off on screen as well. So she's got an edge to her. She's making, she says she's going to make a bloody mess on purpose. And I started getting real weird in the seat, going real red. Terry was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Mark says, he's got a plan. I'm going to put him in the top shelf, and then I'm going to put him in the bottom shelf. So he talks a big game, like me. I always do that. I always aim big. If you hire me, I promise I will commit every day to improvement. I will be on time every day. You know, I'll just talk in a big game like I always do. So again, reminds me of me. We learn a bit about Hermione, which is great. Very tactful move from the GBBBO editors. Because just as we think she's not up to scratch, she's maybe not good enough to be in the Bake Off tent. We learn a little bit more about her. We get a bit of sympathy for her. She came from West Africa 20 years ago. She's studying to be an accountant. And we see a clip of her in the park opening up a page of her textbook. And the first page just says, study text. So, you know. Maybe they could have actually got a textbook rather than used a useless prop. But just a bit of fun there from the GBBO people. Can we believe anything we see? Is that a plant? Are we just living in a Truman Show? Are these all actors? So we've a bit of sympathy for her as we realise she's falling behind. She's still styling when the others are in the oven. So what they are in desperate need of is a bit of a snap. Bit of a... without them breaking. Lottie's got a good snap. Hey, Lottie, are you bloody... what do you got, a bloody infinity gauntlet? That's a good snap. Dave as well, he's happy with his snap. Hey, Dave, what are you, bloody Iron Man? That's a good snap. Rowan, fucking hell with Rowan here. What did I say last week? I'm going to make a bloody Notre Dame Cathedral out of toffee. You know, always overly ambitious. So this week it's inspired by his grandmother. Inspired by his grandmother, he's making waistcoat Florentines. Like, this is the ego of Rowan, right? I'm not having a go. I am having a go. Rowan comes in. He's got a waistcoat. He's got 12 different waistcoats. He thinks, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to show my lavish style. I'm going to show my fancy waistcoats. It's like I used to draw logos with glasses on them because I'm an egomaniac as well. So I used to draw logos with glasses on them. Like, oh my God, that's my symbol. It's glasses as my symbol. Be recognized because of my fucking glasses. He's trying to do a similar thing for the waistcoats, right? Inspired by his grandmother. What? It's his fucking waistcoats. And again, he must have the most supportive partner in the world in his partner, Paul. I bet Rowan comes out with a bowl of jelly when they're watching Corrie, right? And then he's like, yeah, this is inspired by Monet's Poppies. And Paul's like, you're incredible, you know? It's fucking lovely, babes, you know? So an enabler in his partner, Paul, I'd have to say. But again, overly ambitious. They even say, Rowan, just calm down, man. Just calm down. Just make a cake. Make it taste nice. It doesn't need to fucking blow the head off us. Matt Lucas says, Paul, this is what posh people talk about. Because it's talking about waistcoats or some shit or whatever. Hermione is doing a full fucking Norman Bates to get these Florentines out of the mold. She's hacking away at this thing. Mark is doing square. Mark with the tight necklace is doing square Florentines, even though he's not wearing the tight necklace at this point, which is very unfortunate. Mac is very handsomely and confidently and impressively failing. He has fucked up the textures. He has fucked up the colour, but he's very calmly being like, you know, I'm really not happy. I'm really not happy. I'm really unhappy with that. Lottie, who's a proper artist. Let's call a fucking spade a spade. She's an artist. She's amazing. Very impressive. I kept nudging my wife saying, look at that. Isn't that amazing what she's doing? With the drizzle or whatever the fuck I don't remember what she did. Hermione is sad. And she does that thing that you do in school where you're like, mine are shite, yours are class. Oh, yours looks really good, you know. And she's doing that to like Dave, and Dave seems like a completely different character. He's like, no, they look good. He's less high strung. He's taking it down a peg. Anyway, let's judge his critiques of the Florentines. Dave seems honestly like a different guy. He's got this feathered uniform, dark chocolate, and hey, are you the bloody hot Hulk? Because that's a good snap. Paul says, the fucking too lumpy, Chuck. The fucking too lumpy. And then Prue was all like, are you fucking Prue? I was worried about your very large nuts. I was worried about your fucking, your testicles. I mean, nuts. And then everyone, the place erupts. They're desperate. The sexual tension because they've been kept away from their family. It's like when you go to a work night out in the Christmas party and people start saying, like, 2 drinks in, what age was everyone when they lost their virginity? You know, it's that kind of vibe in the bake-off tent because they've been kept away from their kids. I'd say they're fucking riding rings around each other. So when he says the nuts thing, they're just like, oh, yeah, you know, they're just fucking desperate for it. Laura... Now, I do have to say something here, right? Another suspicious thing. Not to be conspiracy theories across the board, right? But Laura says she's not posh, but she's got a bit of fucking gold leaf on her Florentines. Sorry, you're saying you're not posh and you're putting gold leaf. She must be secretly posh, right? Is she another actor? Is she another fucking Robert Plant? Is she? Posh people love gold leaf. If you walk into Donnybrook Fair, it's nothing but gold leaf. Everything's got gold leaf. It's like walking into fucking Gaddafi's palace when you go into Donnybrook Fair. So... I'm suspicious now. Oh, I'm not posh. Hobnob's posh for me. Gold leaf, very suspicious. Paul says, great Florentine. Rowan, again, here we go. I'm going to make elaborate waistcoats. It's going to be like a cacophony of waistcoats. Half of them have waistcoats. The rest of them look like the rest of them look like spread of fucking Nutella. Look shy. And Paul's like, and they're underbaked. Paul just says, simplify. And he Rowan refuses to listen. And this will not be the last time. Sora's look stunning. Little swan on top, if she even fucking made them herself. Paul says beautiful, well balanced, but no snap. Sounds like bloody, what is it, bloody, sounds like Legolas losing at a child's card game. Well balanced, but no snap. She also cheats by giving them tea as well. Bribery. So that's another one, to Sora's list of things. Peter, not a great snap. Like a kid with a fat hand. Not a great snap. But Paul says they're true and unique. So lovely Peter. Not a great snap. True and unique. Hermione's are like a deadbeat dad who forgot the cards for the camper van. There's no snap. And the kids are devastated. Fucking play snap. There's no snap. No, hang on, there's no positive. They're really tough, really scruffy, like leather. So sorry, Hermione. Mark, I'm really growing. He's really growing on me. Is Mark? Surprising and very delicious, they say. Linda's are said, great snap but no texture. Almost like if bloody John Lasseter from Toy Story made Infinity War. You know what I mean? Has snap but no texture. Famously old 3D models didn't have very good tech. If you just look at Toy Story, it still looks good, but the dogs look like shit. You know what I mean? The dogs and Sid look like shit because of the textures. So my joke's really good. Max, again, I tell it like it is. Max looks like a fucking mermaid's fanny, to be honest. And you know what? And bloody Prue confirms it because she says very gooey and soggy. So on brand, on fleek are them. And the lovely Lottie, the fabulous, whose surname is Bedlow. Do with that what you will. Lovely Lotties look very good. They look shiny. And a good snap, like a freshly polished Infinity Gauntlet. Whatever, I'm done with the things. Paul says, can't find a fault, is looking down like a little shy boy. Goes in for the hand, goes in for the handshake. This is why they're quarantining. This is why Dave is away from his pregnant wife for 7 weeks, just for the chance to shake Paul Hollywood's hand. And if you look back, Paul does have Paul is more likely to give it to attractive ladies. So this is the first little steamy. There's a lot of sexual chemistry going on. He's even shy. He's like, am I going to do it? Am I not? And Noel gets very jealous of this. We see that later on. Other copies are available. So the technical, this is Prue's challenge. So in that, okay, what do you got? Dave did well. And Max, actually, to be fair, they said we're all right. Lottie did well. And a couple of people in the firing line. Rowan from there would be in the firing line. And whatever, other people as well. So Prue says this is a classic. No going off piste. No going off getting fucking locked in the hotel like we caught you as randy devils. You're not going off pissed. You have to do it exactly as I tell you, sober, she says. I want 12 hand-shaped coconut macaroons. Were they macaroons or macarons? Oh, my God. What were they? Macaroons? I wrote down macaroons. Coconut macaroons. 6 chocolate and 6 mango curd, all right? So Mark's like, I've made them before. I'm hedging my bets. I'm talking a big game. Peter says, I made them with my mum. So Prue and Paul are there scoffing the macaroons. They explain that they need to be crunchy but soft. And I've heard, between you and me, I've heard that Prue and Paul apparently eat everything. When they're eating them things and they're talking about them, apparently they eat the whole fucking lot. They eat the whole lot. They don't share them with anyone. They just sit there for like hours eating this stuff. So keep that in mind. Mac is less chill. He was very chill before. He's like, I'm failing miserably. This time he's a bit less chill. He knows he has to do well. Laura just has a fucking handful of butter. She just got butter in her hand. She's just fucking in. She's just holding the butter in case she needs a bit more. Which I have no issue with. But Terry thinks it's weird that I butter my bread with my hands. I get the thing. I get the stick of butter and I peel it off and I just go, ow, I really hurt my thumb there. Smacked it off my wedding ring. Another fucking one from Terry. Here we are. So I got, and I go, and I spread it like that. A bit of McCambridge's and I get the thing and I go, and then I'm like, that's not even a teaspoon, even though like getting right in the crevices. And then I'm not counting that. That's not even a teaspoon of butter. It's only a little smidge, you know. So she gives out to me for doing that. So I like Laura's technique. I think we should be more playful with our food, like that guy from Hostel. So Noel comes over and starts negging Lottie over the handshake. He obviously was very flirty last week. He doesn't like that she's getting a bit of attention from Paul. He's like, how do you feel over the handshake? And she's like, I felt nothing. Oh, what, are you dead inside? Oh, you felt nothing. And I'm just thinking, can you fucking savages just give the lovely Lottie a bit of fucking space without fucking going there, fiddling with her biscuits, messing with her? Give her a bit of space, right? Leave Lottie alone. So Mark's really far behind. I just spent too long on the curd. The time just got away from me. Just doing, getting the excuses in now. The curd just got away from me. And also, here we go, right? The innuendo, right, of, I was worried about your big nuts. All right? I'm fucking worried about the big nuts, you fruit, you fucking prune. Here, innuendo went, Lottie goes, I'm too worried about how deep the hole is. She goes, sorry, I'm too worried about how deep the hole is to have a bit of filling in it. And they're just like, the innuendos are going, they're just getting so rampant they can't even hear them anymore. What sort of filth are they saying to each other back in the hotel if they're not even responding to that? I love English Mark. I think he's English. He's the man I want to be. I like him. I really like him. Nothing bad to say about him. Not even bad to say about anyone. So a lot of them, so they're making these macaroons. They don't know how long to do it for. Dave is putting it in for 20 minutes. Mac is doing it for 30 minutes. Northern Irish Mark keeps bringing it. I fucking wish I didn't spend so long on that curd. None of them are looking golden. They're looking as pale and fucking... I'm not having a go with Peter, but I'm not getting on. I'm not, sorry. I'm not, no. They're looking pale. Mac and Dave are holding firm. Everyone else is taking them out. They're, and to be fair, Mac and Dave seem a bit darker. So Lottie helps Mark out last minute. Mark again, fucking piping bags after seizing up on me. Excuses. Sir, my piping bag's banjaxed. Sir, my curd isn't sitting, sir. Sort of shy, I would say, in school. You're a nice guy, mate, but if you aren't fully committed, then just fucking go. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry. It's not even you. It's me. You're doing fine. I'm just totally projecting my own insecurities on Mark. You're doing fine. Laura, delicious but not crispy enough. Mark, tasty but underbaked. Sora, looks good. Mad shapes. Rowan, too soft. Mark, like it. Nice caramelization. Mac, decent amount of curd. Great job. Lottie, lovely mango, needed longer. Dave watches intently with the eyes, and they say the curd is perfect. Linda, it's good. Hermione, chewy. Peter, neat but pale. I feel like they're having to go with him personally, so I'm not the only one there for saying that. Rowan, dead last. Oh, is his head on the chopping block, I wonder? Peter next. Mark also at the end of the line. And Lottie, unfortunately, the tops have become the bottoms. And Rowan is now leading the pack of the bottoms. Mac is third. Mark is second. And Dave, who I keep calling Dan, has come first. Like Rowan as well, he's all like, I didn't do as well as I hoped. He keeps thinking some freak occurrence has happened. This chap is an egomaniac. Any chap that thinks he can bring out his own, Marks and Spencer line of waistcoats, which he obviously thinks he's going to be able to do after this, and he's enabled by his... What's the opposite of being gaslit? What's the opposite of being encouraged, delusionally encouraged by your partner? I think Terry does that, to be fair. But there's a similar thing going on here with Rowan's partner, Paul. Absolutely release your own line of waistcoats in Marks and Spencer's, even though you're the worst fucking baker I've ever seen in my life, and I'm deluding you. So now onto this thing. Am I being really fucking rude? I really like all these people. Do you know that? I really like all these people. Rowan, I like you. You know what I mean? And I hope you never see this. I never want you to be offended by this. I think they're all great. I love these people. Keep that in mind. I love these people. I feel like I know them when I get to say this. And it's also how they're edited. I know this is not a personal attack on these people. I shouldn't be even fucking saying that. I should just hold firm. I don't even fucking know who I am anymore. Anyway, signature bake. They have to sculpt a dinner set out of biscuits. A shitloads of biscuits they have to make. Rowan is doing a fucking Florentine lighthouse with an actual flashing light. I'm just going to build a fully operational lighthouse, says Rowan, and they're just like, Rowan proves it. Rowan, you fucking prune, mate. It's just biscuits, mate. Just make a fucking normal biscuit, mate. And this is meant to be a breakfast set. It's a lighthouse. It's a pot. I don't fucking know. It's so overly ambitious. I'm just going to make a fully operational time machine DeLorean. Rowan, you have to stop. Or just make something normal. Peter's making a haggis. Peter's a very proud Scotsman. I like it. He's making haggis. Mark is making Ethiopian coffee ceremony. Lottie is making a Viking Valhalla thing. And then again, with the innuendo, it goes straight over their heads. Again, the filth they must be saying in the green room or in the hotel, because he says, well, let's see if we can open the gates of Valhalla later. Cheeky fuck. Again, over their heads. And they need to leave Lottie alone. They're a bunch of fucking feral dogs chasing the lovely Lottie Bedlow. Mac says he won't be moulding, he's going to be building. He's making it a bit more complicated for himself. He's going to use squares, flat pack, Art Deco vibe. Sounds more complicated, but it should be impressive. Dave is doing Mexican tacos. He's a lot chiller now, honestly. He's not even blinking at all. This chap clearly got a fucking software update between weeks 1 and 2. And they're like, no, I'm going to turn the fucking blinking down. Sora is making a Ramadan tea time. Intricate patterns, if she even fucking made it. If she even made it, Chantel. Mark is doing coffee and toast. He is a sculptor himself. This should be impressive. Linda Honey is doing shortbread. Very delicate, says them. Max is broken in a minute. Mac immediately, he says it's overbaked by a minute. It's fucked. It's a big bowl. He's fucked. He's freaked by it, right? Lottie is they're all trying to get their molds, their biscuits out of their mold. So Mac is trying to get this fucking plate to wrap around. Lottie has like a Valhalla fucking Viking tall ship. And honestly, she seems so stressed. It's almost like she's trying to excavate an actual tall ship. And it's taken far too long to get out. She seems so stressed. I wish I was there to comfort her. Do you know what I mean? Like, just they're not them. They don't have her fucking best interest at heart. I would be there. I wouldn't even touch her. That's creepy. I'm being creepy now. That's creepy. Maybe cut. No, do you know what? We can't edit this. No, I can't edit this. But just know that I would have cut that out if we could edit that out. Laura is making a granny birthday cake out of gingerbread. Hermione says a very funny thing. I didn't know Noel did comedy. Very funny. Having a little dig. Because again, before Matt Lucas was here, the patter was low. Lottie says she's going to make the jam look like blood. She's so cool. And here we go. Fucking Viennese lighthouse, right? We see Rowan's Viennese lighthouse. It's a fucking cone. It's a cone. You know when you get a circle and you cut into the radius, into the centre point and you wrap it? Yeah, Viennese lighthouse. This chap is deluded. I blame Paul, who's opposite gaslighting him. Are you messing? Viennese lighthouse. Linda's looks good. And Terry thought she should have got the boot, but Linda has done this incredible ornate kind of lace work, this kind of unbelievable icing. It looks great. I'm glad she's pulled it back. Will it taste good? We'll see. Rowan's has cracked. Judges' critiques. Here we go. Judges' critiques. Rowan first. He calls this now the Not a Viennese Lighthouse the worst thing to happen at sea. And to be fair, it does have a light. But I tell you, don't eat it or you'll look like bloody E.T. Don't eat the light, though, or your belly be like E.T. Mark, tea toast looks great. Paul says, amazing job, and it does. Mark's just cool, composed, doing his bacon. Mark's very impressive. Mark's probably one of my favourites at the moment. Hermione looks great. Quality glaze, bitter flavour. Looks great, and the glaze did look good. She kind of dipped it and it looked great, but it's just not there. Laura essentially just put biscuits already on a stand. It isn't supporting itself and they're not impressive. Lovely flavour, but it's just biscuits on a stand. Linda is making high tea, she says. High tea biscuit. Apparently it works too much. The texture's not there, but the design is very pretty. Linda, I feel, has pulled it back. Mark, scruffy, but looks the part. Very strong flavour of coffee, which sounds fucking awful. I wouldn't like that. Dave's looks fab. Honestly, this guy, he's pulled it back. He could be the winner this week. Apparently, actually delicious. Very impressive to look at. Impressive design. Mac, flat pack, bit clumsy, not precise enough. That's as scathing as they get. right? They're just like, you didn't really sculpt, but they can obviously see the amount of effort went into this. Not precise enough. Okay. Sora, a bit rushed, not neat. Maybe she had to make this one on her own, huh? Maybe she didn't have one that she could just fucking... Here's one I made earlier. That another fucking... One of the fucking GBBO elves made for her. This one she had to make for herself. And then when proven she is a trained actor, not a trained baker, it isn't good enough, but apparently it tastes good. Peter's haggis cake, delicious. She loves it. She can't even say how lovely it looks, Prue. It's fucking... She takes another bite. She can't even say how lovely it is. The biscuit, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Lottie, Prue is very forgiving. Good flavour, decent job. I said it here. At this point, Rowan just needs to go home. Rowan is deluded. Rowan is... he's not in it for the right reasons. He's a man who likes the finer things. If he even likes the things. He's probably like me telling my wife, oh yeah, I love poetry. I'm fucking, you know what I mean. You just want to make people like you. So you say you're into mad. Oh, I love... I love impressionism, you just say this sort of stuff. So you can't really trust Rowan. He needs to go home. He's a phony. And to be honest, it's probably the best thing for the relationship with Rowan and his partner for him to go home now, and then his partner can be like, you're not a great baker. Can we just keep it to your antiques? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so we get the star baker. Dave, he's recovered from last week. Rebooted, you might even say, is our robot boy Dave. He's a real boy this week. Very impressive. And then we get the fucking hoot. And before this, they're like, who's going to be sent home, right? And they said, well, Rowan looks a bit... Rowan's is not... Rowan... And he doesn't... He's a fucking prone in that he doesn't take criticism, right? He doesn't take criticism. And then they're like, but maybe Mac, he's not blowing us away, right? And then you're like, oh, I suppose they had to say that. And they're like, oh, you sound a bit undecided. And they're trying to be like, so it's not obviously Rowan. And it's fucking Mac. We lost it in our house at this. Mac being sent home. Let's go through this, right? Mac said in the first one, right? Where is it? Mac, the mermaid fanny ones, right? They said, yeah, they were all right, right? Technical comes third. And the last one, they said it was a bit, where is it? Flat pack, a bit clumsy, not precise enough. I think they were all right with the flavour, and they sent fucking Rowan home. And then what really fucking gripes me here is Rowan still finds a way to pat himself on his fucking waistcoat and say, my ideas saved me today. My ideas saved me today. That's what I'm going to do if I go onto this, right? I'm just going to fucking come up with the most outlandish ideas, right? If I ever, with my peers, go into celebrity bake-off. Then I'm just going to get a big fucking bowl of cream, put a load of sprinkles on it, and be like, it's inspired by George Seurat's pointillism with the dots, and fucking get away with it. I couldn't believe it. I can no longer fantasize about Mac and Lottie's beautiful mixed-race children, even though I don't even think I've seen them speak to each other on the show, but they're very hot people. A real shame, but a very interesting thing. A lot of my favorite things so far, my favorite things about the episode, right? The sexy double entendres across the board, okay? What else? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I mean, it's clearly staged. All right? Rowan getting by on these ideas. They clearly want to hear more of these elaborate ideas. And I think Dave deserves Star Baker. Dave the robot. They've clearly rebooted this boy, given him some new software. So that's going to be interesting. You've got Peter, the freak athlete, versus Sora, the plant, the actor, versus Dave, the fucking T-1000. Very exciting times. Let's see what happens. If you like this and you'd like to see more, do you know what you could do actually if you're seeing this on Instagram? Share it or hit the save key. Apparently that makes it look really good. Rather than like it, hit save. And that makes it look like it'll appear on more feeds going forward. It'll get better reach if you hit the little thing looks like a little bookmark. If you hit that and a like, that will make this look really good. If you're watching it on YouTube, send it out. Let people know. If you like it, let me know. Of course, whatever. If you like me doing this and talking shy, I have another podcast and it comes out every Tuesday. It's called Tony Cantwell Shit Show, and you can find it in the link in my Instagram or the link below in the comments on the YouTube page. Thanks very much. I love you.